What's up, everybody? Let's talk about rock bottom. 11 years ago, I came to and I was literally burning alive. My 68 GTO was a twisted fireball and I was stuck inside it. My teeth had gone through my upper lip, bones in my right foot were sticking out, and I was dope sick. That makes everything so much better. I had wrecked on the way to the dope man's house in South Memphis, and even with my foot mangled and blood pouring from my face, I tried to crawl the rest of the mile to get my fix. If you've ever been dope sick, I know you know that feeling. The ambulance drivers had to physically restrain me because I didn't want help. I wanted dope. 3 weeks later, I got arrested for the first time. And if you know my story, that definitely was not going to be the last time. There'd be a dozen and a half more maybe, and 5 more years of hell. You know, people think rock bottom is one moment, but oftentimes, it's a slow grind to the center of the earth. Addiction, violence, jail, I lost everything. And people always ask me, like, what was your rock bottom? Well, the truth is, it wasn't a single moment. 2018 was a nightmare on repeat. Every day started the same. I'd wake up dope sick. I'd lie, cheat, steal, do whatever I had to do to be able to afford to make that 45-minute one-way trip to South Memphis and back 3 times a day. Every day ended the same, too. Passed out, blacked out, or arrested. Or worse, wishing I was dead, but too scared to make it happen. I hurt everybody that ever tried to help me. I burned every bridge. I lost my family. I've buried more friends than I can count. By the time 2019 rolled around, I wasn't even trying to get clean. Like, honestly, I was trying to die without making it look like suicide. Until an unusually hot day in May of 2019, I woke up in an empty lot on Wilbur Street in South Memphis. I blacked out again. My shoes were gone. My wallet was gone. My wife was gone. My kid was gone. My truck was gone. I remembered absolutely nothing from the preceding 72 hours. I remember getting up and looking around, crushed glass, blood on my pants, some guy walking his pit bull just staring at me like I was already dead. And I promise you, I looked like the Walking Dead. And, I mean, maybe I was, dude. You know, but something broke that morning. I was just done. I was done chasing. I was done running. And I was done trying to survive a life I didn't even want to live anymore, if you can even call it living. I decided to get clean for the 100th time, but something was different this time. I didn't go into it angry. I went in defeated. I surrendered. And I started stacking days, one at a time, a week, a month, a year. And somewhere in all that silence and pain, I don't know, man. It's like God met me. God met me on that path. And he reminded me of a prayer, a foxhole prayer Jess and I had promised him 1,000 times over. You know, if you'll just get us out of hell together, we'll come back for everybody we left behind. We'll spend the rest of our lives doing that. And honestly, that's where We Fight Monsters was born. That's where Owen Army came from. Not some clean, polished boardroom idea, but from a man bleeding in an empty lot who decided he wasn't going to die that way. And today, if you've been following us, you already know this, but for those who don't, we take ground back from that darkness. You know, we shut down dope houses. We open hope houses. We train ex-gang members and trafficking survivors to lead rescue missions, going back into the same hell we escaped. We teach business, we teach purpose and grit to people who are ready to do something big that the world gave up on. Because if we're being honest, man, people who've survived hell, we don't run from fire. We run back in carrying water. So if you're listening to this and you feel like your life's been reduced to rubble, good. We recruit from the rubble because those are the only ones we can trust with this mission, man. And if you're ready to stop running, if you're ready to build something that matters, man, join us. Come on. Visit owenarmy.com. Check out what we're up to. Because I believe the most powerful force on this earth is a broken man who refuses to stay that way. I mean, seriously, we've proven this time and again. So now we fight back. We take over the old dope houses. We turn them into hope houses. We pull people out of trafficking, addiction, and despair, and then we train them to go back in and fight for others. We're not waiting on permission. We're not waiting on politicians. We're not waiting on a miracle, because we are the miracle. So if you're out there wounded, weary, and still breathing, then maybe, just maybe, your story ain't over yet. Because I promise you, if I can make it out of that hell alive, so can you.